Stolen Heaven, Secret Hell. Episode 12. How the Fight is Actually Won. I give my secret to your light, your grace and mercy, how I fight. 2 lines, 14 words, and packed into them the entire theology of how the battle against addiction and sin is actually won. Not willpower, not discipline, not a better strategy or a stronger resolve or a more sincere commitment this time. Grace and mercy. That is how the fight is fought. That is the weapon. And understanding why changes everything about how you approach the battle. But before we get to the fighting, we have to get to the giving. I give my secret to your light. Earlier in this song, the secret was kept under skin, hidden, carried, exhausting. The double life of the performance of okayness while the interior collapsed. And now, something has shifted. Now the secret is being given, deliberately, actively, handed over. Not discovered, not exposed against the person's will, given. There is agency in this moment. There is choice. And the choice is to bring the thing that has been hidden into the light rather than continue carrying it in the dark. And I want to be honest about what that secret actually contains, because I think we soften it, and in softening it, we make the giving harder rather than easier. The truth of the secret is this. At some point, some part of us wanted it. Not the full consequences, not the bondage and the shame and the consuming fire that came after, but the thing itself, the relief, the release, the pleasure, the escape. Some part of us reached for it willingly. It may have taken root and grown beyond our control. It may have beguiled us and deceived us about what it was. But there was a moment of reaching. There was a choice somewhere at the beginning. And that is the hardest part of the secret to give to the light. Not just, Lord, I am trapped in this, but, Lord, I chose this first. Some part of me wanted this. I reached for it. And now I need you to claim me back from it. This is the full truth that needs to come into the light. And here is why people resist bringing it there. Because shame and pride, which are actually 2 sides of the same coin, both tell you the same lie. Shame says what you have done is too much, too dark, too specific, too repeated for God to forgive. And pride says the same thing from a different angle, that somehow the particular weight of what you have done places you outside the normal operation of grace, that your case is special, that what Christ died for was not quite sufficient for this. Both are lies. Both serve the same purpose, keeping the secret in the dark where it retains its power. Because here is the truth that shame and pride both obscure. Christ died for this. Specifically, completely. The thing you are most ashamed of, the choice you made that you most cannot believe you made, the repeated failure that makes you wonder if grace has a limit, He died for it. All of it. Once. Sufficiently. As 1 John 1:9 promises, if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. Not most sins, not the manageable ones, all unrighteousness, including yours, including this. And when God's light shines on the secret, when the full truth is brought into His presence without curation or softening, the darkness that sustained the secret's power cannot survive it. As John 1:5 tells us, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The secret loses its power in the light, not because the light makes it disappear, but because the light reveals it for what it actually is. Something already paid for, something already covered, something that does not have the final word about who you are. And then the second line arrives and it reframes the entire battle. Your grace and mercy, how I fight. Not how I feel, not how I wish I could fight, how I actually fight. Grace and mercy are the weapons. And I want you to understand how completely this reorients the battle. When we fight addiction and sin with willpower alone, when the strategy is try harder, commit more sincerely, resolve more firmly this time, every failure is a catastrophe. Every failure is evidence that we are insufficient, that we cannot do this, that the addiction is stronger than we are. And it is. That evidence is accurate. The willpower approach produces an accurate conclusion. We are not strong enough. But it draws the wrong response from that conclusion. It says, try harder, get stronger. And we cannot. But when we fight with grace and mercy, when the foundation of the battle is not our strength, but Christ's sufficiency, failure changes its meaning entirely. Because it was never meant to be just us. The battle was never designed to be fought on human strength alone. And whereas we fail, and we will fail, the flesh is weak, the fight is long. He never fails. His grace covers the failure. His mercy makes it so the failure is not the end of the story. His faithfulness is what Lamentations 3:22-23 speaks of when it says, His mercies are new every morning. Not new after we have earned them back. New every morning. Available before the failure has been resolved. Present in the middle of the getting back up. This is not permission to be casual about sin. It is precisely the opposite. The person who understands grace and mercy does not take the battle lightly. They take it more seriously than anyone, because they understand that this is a real war and sin is a real enemy, and if we treat it casually, we will be a casualty. But they fight differently. They fight knowing that when they fall, they are not finished. That the grace that covers the failure is the same grace that gives them the strength to stand up and fight again. They fight knowing that Christ is doing the real fighting, that their role is to show up, to give the secret to the light, to confess when they fall, and to trust that the one who never fails is fighting what they cannot fight alone. This is the moment the song has been building toward, the secret given to the light, grace and mercy named as the weapons. And now, in chorus 2, the fight begins in earnest. Not with white knuckles and clenched teeth in the desperate hope that this time willpower will be enough, but with the confident, desperate faith of someone who knows they are weak and knows their God is not, and has decided that is enough to keep fighting. Your grace and mercy, how I fight. Not someday, not once I am stronger. Now, with shaking hands and a paper cup and a secret given to the light, and a God whose mercy is new every morning. Now. Reflection. For those in the fight, what is the part of the secret you have not yet given to the light? The part that shame or pride tells you is too much even for grace. What would it mean to give that specific part to Him today? For those beside someone in the fight, how do you communicate grace and mercy to someone who has failed again? The truth that this failure is not the end of the story without minimizing the seriousness of the battle.